system is ever really done. It has to evolve. It has to change with the times as things change. And so we pump out update after update after update. And sometimes we're right in your face with it. And sometimes it's very nuanced on the back end to kind of, help you out and you don't even realize it's there. So I want to take a look at a couple of things that have been like member requests and updates that we put in here. And then I want to show you a couple of things that we put in the background that you wouldn't necessarily, you might not notice. Maybe you did notice. Yeah, it's designed to help you. And yesterday, it helped a bunch of you. Who here yesterday was in an AVAX short, right? A short trade in AVAX. And you got a notice saying like, oh, your account's close to liquidation, right? Let me know if that's you. Let me know if that's you. But it didn't, did it? There's a reason, a very specific reason why. So I'm going to talk to you about that. Okay. And that's something that we kind of initiated inside of Carbon. So let's take a look at a couple of these updates, right? And we're going to go through these fairly quickly because I don't want to take up too much of your time. And I want to get on to some Q&A as well. So let me grab the Zooms. Let me go. There we go. Boom. Okay. All right. So I'm going to share my screen. Let me know when you can see it. This is a test account that I run. I pretty much top this up at $1,000, try to lose it all, and then top it up again. So this is an account we do a lot of testing on. That's why it has 1,100 trades in it. So let me show you one of the things that we made live in the system. And this was from members. And again, can you see my screen? Yes, if you can see it. You got me? You got the screen? It's right there. Yeah. Okay, cool. So a lot of times when you're in a trade and you see a trend happening and you're going, hey man, this is going to be, what's up, CJ? This is going to be like, we're in a rally, right? And this long that was taken on the indicators, man, I think this is going even higher, right? You get into that. A lot of times you see that, or you set up you go into a stage and maybe you're like in a stage 3 or a stage 4 and your take profit's like 1%. And you waited all this time for that trade to come around. And so you're like, man, I really wish I could take more percent. Yeah, I wish I could take more money on that trade. Let me know, you guys who have been here for a while, is that you? Let me know if you guys ever thought that, right? Well, you can. So this was something that our members wanted, okay? And and by the way, guys, if you got questions, I see you, LJ Billions, ask them at the end because they'll scroll by so fast I won't see them. So here's what we end up doing, okay? You can go ahead mid-trade on any trade that's inside of Carbon, and you can click if it's being tracked on the active status. And when it does, there's a new button that pops up. Before, this would just be, do you want to close the trade, right? Now what we do is we can do close this trade, or we can change our profit percentage. So you can go ahead and toggle this, and you can adjust this to up to 100%, right? Probably not going to be doing that very often, up to 100%. But a lot of times you guys are in here and you're seeing something rally and you're like, man, I want to adjust this to take even more via Carbon. Well, now you can do that. So right now you see like this, if I toggle on this trade, it shows you my profit at price, shows you what I'm going to be profiting at. I can go ahead and click on this and it shows you the profit percentage. So this is going to profit at 55%, which is silly, right? This is me making changes again, test account. So if I click on this active, I can do change profit percent to, let's say, 10. I can click on it. And when I do, if I go change the take profit percent, you're going to see this 55 over here adjust to a 10. So I'm going to go, boom, change profit, bam, and you see it in the background happening. Carbon's working, and it just changed my profit to take profit at 10% now. So this is something that, let me know if you guys wanted this before. This was something that some of our members requested, and something that I've been wanting to actually add in. We got this done. We did this during, like right after the crash when I spent like 2 weeks on calls. This is one of the things that we updated on. So keep that in mind, right? If you're ever like in a trade and you're like, oh, it's going to take profit at 1%. I want to go ahead and change that. You can change it. Works really, really good in the Beyond the Bot stuff, right? Beyond the Bot section works pretty phenomenal. For those of you who want to change the take profit midstream, So yeah, also incidentally, if I change this take profit to something that is under what my current P&L is, then it will it will initiate a close on that trade. Okay. It'll initiate a close on that trade. So for example, this is at a P&L of 3.49%. If I go to take profit and I change this to take profit at, let's say, 1%, and I go change take profit, then Carbon's going to go to work. And then once it affects that trade, right, my take profit is at 1% now. Now Carbon's going to go, oh, crap, I need to take profit on that. And it's going to start initiating that take profit on this particular trade, and it will close it out for me at this 1%, right? Might need to refresh. I might have already closed it out. So that functionality is there as well, okay? So you can close it out. So it's gonna do its thing, and it'll end up closing out this trade. Also, there's a lot of trades down here that I can push through. I'm gonna push through a couple of these just so we can play with them. Let me go add this in. Boom. Go add in a couple of these trades. I open on these test accounts, I end up opening up a ton of trades. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. But on some of these trades that we're doing here, that like when you're in a trade, some of the trades that you might be in, there are going to be times where another update that we did is going to kick in, and I'll show you what that update is. So and some of you already got this. Let me go into this Facebook group. All right, let me both pop in here. So if you guys have experienced this, and this is another update that we made. If you guys ever experienced this, and Pedro's posted this in the Facebook group, and I figured I'd cover it tonight. Oh, and look at Indy saying, yeah, he's going to go ahead and cover it. So there's a new functionality in Carbon that will disable actual tracking on Carbon itself, okay? And send you an email on what you need to do. So we put in a functionality where some of you, if you're in trades and you're kind of playing with your settings, and Carbon gets into this mode where it can't do anything. So for example, let me know if you guys have ever done this. You go into your configurations and you tell Carbon, hey, go ahead and get me into a trade at 10% of my account, 15x leverage, crazy stuff like that, right? And Carbon gets to a point where it can't do any money management, okay? Oh, look at that, trade close initiated. So Carbon gets to a point where it can't take anything, can't do anything, okay? If that happens, if we're in a situation where Carbon can't do something on your account, can't change the leverage, can't repurchase in because your available balance isn't enough, something along those lines, what'll end up happening now, all right, and this is to safeguard the system and to safeguard you and notify you what's happening on your account, is Carbon will kick you off an email now and tell you, hey, we can't adjust the leverage on this. There's not enough available balance on here, okay? You need to do something about this. And when that happens, you're going to see a message that looks like this. Tracking on that trade will get disabled until you can fix that. Why did we do that? Well, because if you ever went to your logs, you would see some crazy stuff happening on your logs. You might see us trying to repurchase a trade 40,000 times, like 7,000 times, trying to repurchase in, if you don't have balance to go ahead and adjust the leverage or repurchase in. And then it made the logs unusable. So what we do now is we actually disable tracking on that trade, but you can re-enable it. So if you ever get an email from us with a problem on your account that says, hey, you can't get in, you can't add more money to a trade, we couldn't do this trade action, then you can go on in your account, fix that on Bybit, and enable it. And also, if you ever get an email like that and you see something like this where it says tracking disabled on your trades, then you want to hit up the help desk and say, hey, what's going on here? The email is self-explanatory typically, but you want to go ahead and just check it out anyway, okay? Is there an expire time to press enable? No, there is not. Nope. Who here's seen that disable? It looks like this. And I'm going to do a tutorial video on this where I run through and kind of set an account up for failure in that way. And I will put a video back there walking you through it step by step what it is. But it's disabling that, okay? Yeah, if you have two, then yeah, you want to enable those, or you want to go see what the problem is and then enable. Okay. So that the reason why we stuck that in and why we put that in is because what was end up happening, guys, is the logs were getting to be like they were unusable because we were just sending trades back and forth. Hey, open a trade, open a trade, open, adjust this leverage every 6 seconds. And that's fine and dandy. But then your logs get clogged up with 34,000 different activities we're trying to do on that one trade. Okay. And it makes your logs to see what's happening on your trades unusable. So we made that change. Okay. If you get one of those emails, you can definitely go ahead and reach out to support as well, and they'll be able to help you out. Okay. Also, all right. Also, another thing that we added in here is this time zone. So whatever time zone you are in, you can go ahead and change this, and it will display what's happening on your logs in that specific time zone, whatever it is. And it will remember the time zone that you sent. Okay. And remember the time zone that you set. And so now you can see this in your time zone. Probably in the next 24, 48 hours, this same functionality of setting your time zones on your logs will become much better because we'll actually have them on your trades as well. So this way, you're able to see, oh, this log happened on my time at this time, and this trade happened on my time and this time, not displayed in server time, and you can match that up with TradingView and that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's going to be done. This is already on the logs page. It's already here. I'm not sure how many of you have seen it, but I can set this to U.S. Eastern Time Zone. Yeah, no more math, says Steve. I know. I feel like this is like a I'm sorry to you because we've always been doing this in UTC time, right? Can you make the time zone global for an account? Yeah. So you just set it right here, and you don't have to set it again. You're good. It's just, it remembers what you set here, and we'll have these on the trades as well. That was a little more difficult, but that should be done today as well. So yeah. Next update that we made, can you change the green add button to red? You have added the carbon. Gets confusing. Can you send that into support? If you guys have any like suggestions, send them off into support like that, Robert. And they will go, okay, I'm forwarding this on to Kevin. And then they put it on Excel spreadsheet. And when I have time, I go back and look at it and yada, yada, yada. Okay. So yeah. Okay. If you did send it, then it's on a thing somewhere. I'm going to snapshot to look at this. Okay. Another thing that we did, all right. Another update that we did is one that is more invisible. Another one that's kind of invisible. You don't really know what's really happening. And it saved a lot of people yesterday. So who here is familiar with the term scamwick? Anybody? Anybody familiar with that term, scamwick? Yeah. So what a scamwick is when something like this happens. Okay. When this is AVAX on the 5-minute chart, when you have a spike up that goes, all right, from, here, it goes up, what's this? 14% in a matter of minutes. A lot of times they're just instant, up and down. Okay. This is a scam wick. Whether or not it is actually a scam, I don't know. I don't think it's actually them trying to liquidate you. Maybe it is because that's how they make a lot of money. But these things happen. I mean, look at that. That's irregular. That's an irregular pattern, right? Where it just flies up and then it edges its way back down to where it was. Okay. This is an irregular pattern. You don't usually see this. But when you do, here's where it's scary. These wicks that do this can liquidate you pretty fast, right? What if you were in a short right here and it came on over and just popped up and Carbon doesn't have time to money manage? Carbon doesn't have time to do anything. Whipsaw, says Lou. Yep. Yeah, it's like a fake out, but it's an instant move in the price action and can have catastrophic consequences on your account. When it goes in your favor, they're amazing because you end up seeing a trade make 100% for no reason. Okay? Have you guys ever experienced that in Carbon where you've seen a trade go up and been like, holy crap, I just made 100% on that trade. What is that? 103, says Tuan. All right? Craig's like 86. Yeah. They're great when they're in your favor, and we love them. We champion these scam wicks, right? When they go our way. But what happens when they don't go our way? That's an instant liquidation, right? Because the system doesn't have time to money manage that. The system doesn't have time to do anything with that. They're instantaneous. So bad stuff happens. That's right. So here's what we did, okay? And you might have noted this. I know Craig noticed this because we talked about it. If you go into your trades inside of Bybit, what you're going to see whenever a trade kicks off, okay, inside of Bybit, whenever a trade kicks off in here, that is issued from Carbon, as in we pushed it through, right? Whether you added it, if you open up a trade yourself and push it to the beyond the bot, right? Push it to Carbon, this is going to happen. And whenever Carbon opens up a trade, this is going to happen. And what is this? This is called auto margin replenishment. Okay. And the way that this works, this auto margin replenishment, all right, and it's this right here. This is auto margin replenishment off, and this is on. This is off, and this is on. Okay. And what this does is it auto sets a way for margin to be pushed into your trade. So if your trade hits liquidation price, then margin will be added to said trade. Okay. I'll show you what that looks like. So let's go ahead and mess around with one of these trades that are losing. So this BTC, here's what that looks like. Okay. We're going to play with this. Right now, you see my liquidation price on this trade is 49,300 or 49,538. See this BTC short? If it gets here, I liquidate what's in this trade. Okay. If a scam wick were to hit, right, and go and just shoot up and then come back down, it could move so fast that I would just lose what's in that position. So if this is turned off, so what auto margin replenishment will do for me is it will double the amount that's in the position, okay, whatever my initial amount was, it'll add that into the trade as margin. As margin. What is that? Well, that's when you're using part of your balance to maintain the trade. Just like in cross leverage, you're using your entire balance to maintain the trade. Auto margin replenishment, or adding margin to a trade, is maintaining a trade with a little extra money behind it. And when you do that, your liquidation prices get moved. Okay? So I'm going to show you this. I'm going to go ahead and add some margin to this manually so you can see what would happen in this scenario. So if I see this $16 in this trade, and here's my liquidation price, if I were to go to this position margin and I click on this, okay, and I add in $16.70, I can see what my new liquidation price is going to be after I go ahead and add in said margin, right? I can increase or I can decrease that amount. So right now, this liquidation price is 49. I go add to this position and I increase this 16.70. I can see what my liquidation price would be. My liquidation price would move to 57K. If I hit confirm here, it just added that to it and it moved my liquidation price. It took money from my available balance and put it into this trade to lower or raise, right? In a short, it's raising my liquidation price, or lower my liquidation price in a long, okay? That's what margin does. It's a hybrid between cross leverage and isolated leverage. If you don't know what these are, don't worry about it. But, go watch the videos in the academy. But this is what it's doing. You're adding margin to the trade to maintain it, just like you would in cross leverage, but you're not using the whole thing, okay? Now, and Robert, it's already automated, okay? It's already monitored for you. It's already added whenever a new trade executes. That's what I'm saying. So I'm just showing you the functionality of it. So I just added margin to this trade, right? Now here's the cool part. Let's say this trade's at 10x leverage, okay? And what's the next stage? What do I typically do on a trade? I go from 10x to what, guys? What do we do? What do we do on stage 1 in Carbon? From 10x leverage, what do we change that leverage to? 5x. Yeah, right? We go to 5x. And what does 5x do? It doubles the amount in the trade. But I just added margin into the trade and doubled the amount, didn't I? So if I change this to 5x leverage, am I going to double it again? Right? Because I just added margin into it, changed my liquidation price. What happens now if I change this to 5x leverage? Let's take a look. So if I drop this down to 5x leverage, okay, let's go drop it down to 5x, and I hit confirm. It's going to change this trade to 5x. Boom. Okay. Do you see what just happened here? It dropped me down to 5x and it removed the additional margin in that trade. So now I don't have that margin in the trade anymore. It goes back into my balance. So this is a temporary Band-Aid to put on a problem. And what is that problem? Well, that problem is scam wicks. That problem is, oh, Carbon said change the leverage on the trade, but it didn't. Bybit's got too much going on. It ignored it. Carbon said repurchase, but it didn't. So what it will do is it will act like it. It will act as if it did that next step, protect us as if it did, okay, like a Band-Aid. And then when we can get in there and get that next stage in there, okay, it will then go ahead and take the Band-Aid off because we don't need it anymore, okay? So this is what auto margin replenishment does. It basically puts you in a position that as long as you have money in your available balance here, that it's going to be able to add it to it incrementally so you don't have a liquidation event, okay? And if Carbon says, do this thing on this trade, drop it down to 5x leverage, and it doesn't do it, well, auto margin replenishment will get pushed in there and you'll be good to go. I'm going to show you an example of this happening to one of our members, okay? Let me go ahead and grab this. I snapshotted this. Let me just make sure no personal information is on this, and I will show you. This is a member who wrote into the help desk and said, "Hey, what's going on here? I got this email that said XYZ is going to happen." Let me blow this up so we're just looking at the email content and not. Okay. Boom. All right. Sorry, guys. Bear with me. I just don't want to have names of our members sitting on the webinars. Okay. All right. So let me read through this again, make sure we're good. Okay. So this is what that email looks like if it happens, right? It says, hey, XYZ amount has been added to auto replenish your AVAX trade. Okay. This was yesterday. This was last night. All right. And they went ahead and, it changes the liquidation price so that she didn't liquidate. How many of you got an email like this last night? Got an email saying that on an AVAX short trade? Anybody else get that? Let me know. I'm really curious if you got that email. Okay. Carol got it. Natalie got it. Yeah, a lot of you guys got it. Why? Why did you get it? Because of said scam wick flying straight up, not giving us time to do anything. So last night, this saved, I don't know how many trades, right? I'm looking at, looks like it saved around, 150 trades from instant liquidation having this in there, okay? So this is how auto replenishment works. It saves you whenever these crazy things happen in the markets, okay? Crazy drop, crazy rise, which happens in crypto, right? So there it is. And this is, to me, it's really cool to put something in there and then see that it actually saves hundreds of trades. Like it's nuts. Those trades would have all been most likely liquidated quick because it just flew up and flew right back down, right? Not giving the system time to react, couldn't adjust it to 5x, couldn't repurchase, couldn't do anything. Happens too fast. It happens within 2 seconds. There's no system on the face of the planet that can intervene and stop that except for Bybit itself. Hence, auto margin replenishment, okay? So those are some of the bigger updates. I got some more updates that I want to do. We have so many things happening at the end of the month. So many things that we're opening up at the end of the month that I don't really want to talk about them publicly yet, but I think you guys are going to love them. I know I am. I know I love them, and it's going to get nutty. So we'll talk about that later. But I want to take some questions. I know some of you asked some questions, and I want to go ahead and make sure that that we get those answers. And is Malcolm Wallace still on here? Malcolm, you on here, man? You still on here? This guy, what an inspiration, man. Uh, yeah, I just want to see if you're on, because if you ever listen to this guy talk about trading and his trading advice and what he's doing with carbon, actually, if you have anything that you want to say about any of this stuff, Malcolm, just let me know. Just be like, hey, unmute me, and I will definitely unmute you, because I love to hear what you have to say. Amazing, just a huge breadth of knowledge. We spent a 4-hour phone call the other day. My wife wasn't happy because I kept pushing off dinner, but it was just great. It's great getting getting to spend time with people who have such a huge breadth of experience. Just amazing. Auto margin planners is available for isolated. Yes, it is, and I'll tell you this, guys. Whenever a trade is opened up on Carbon, it's automatically ticked. Whenever you add a trade from your Bybit to Carbon to track, it's already ticked. Okay, Carbon will turn it on for you. If you have trades running right now and it's not turned on, I would go in there and turn them on, right? Because this is something new. So you might have trades in there that aren't turned on. Okay. I'm gonna unmute Malcolm just in case you have something, just in case you have anything you want to say, my man. Just gonna unmute you so you can talk whenever you want to. I don't know if you want to. Just want to make sure you have the opportunity.
Does this mean I got to put my shirt on?
No, you do not have to put your shirt on.
I'm sitting here in the sunshine.
How you doing, man? How's trading going for you?
I got a kind of lesson for someone. I was helping out, I won't say a name, but your head support gal. What a fabulous team that is. And last night she was training for you folks. She was training a brand new support member in South Africa.
Yes.
Yeah, so Carbon has worldwide coverage. And at the same time, I won't say, I give her a couple little tips on the side. And so we were cleaning up with Gala, and I made a fatal mistake, right? We always got to share what we do wrong. We're not always correctly right. And, there's a couple rules, and you learn to be content. And I said, okay, off to bed, to her, go on, you got to get up in the morning, go back to work for our team. And we jumped out of the sales, and I decided to go one more kick of the cat, right?
Take an extra one for good measure.
I just took one extra one, put in a take profit, went to bed, and, the market went a little crazy last night. And I woke up this morning thinking that'll be a nice $1,700 for me. And no, it was the opposite way. So, but that's okay, because we're together with Kevin, utilizing what you guys have with Beyond the Bot. When pretty well so simply what Kevin is teaching you there is when you're upside down the trade, you can go and take the opposite positions, and Kevin watched that live while we were on a call, and out trade that upside down position, right? If you're in a short and it's gone the wrong way, you start taking longs and chip away at that negative balance. At some point, I hate closing trades at a negative, but at some point you get to the decision of where, well, Kevin saw that, right? You saw where I got right back to zero. So I'd earned back what I had lost on a bad trade, actually doing the same mistake, being greedy, going for one more dig, right? So anyway, I
want to clarify what you're saying, Malcolm. So what Malcolm's saying is, like, if he ever gets upside down in a trade, for example, he's losing on, let's say, this Bitcoin short, well, he'll go ahead and take a long as well, and he can chip away at that, right? Take the profits from here and then reduce his exposure here, kind of scenario.
Yes, without a gambling attitude, though. You cannot do it with a gambling attitude. You're chasing the dragon then, and you start to, you can get yourself in serious trouble quickly. So the first lesson is learn to be content. Don't overdo it. But what Kevin shared, pardon me, what Kevin shared what he was working on here, and now it's implemented, is just absolutely fantastic, folks. I mean, really, really fantastic. And a shout out to Tuan. Is that how you say your name, buddy? Like, he's doing phenomenal trading. Some people on here, when we put in what we're doing with wins, I kind of stopped doing it. It's kind of the tall poppy syndrome. We're not boasting, like Kevin said. We're just actually, encouraging you that you can do this. Utilize. All we're doing is utilize. I'm no master trader. Yeah, I know how to trade, but I'm not out there doing a Wild West guy on my own. I am taking the tools and the alerts, what Kevin has given us, and what we have in the back to make it so simple. What you just have for that scam wick. By the way, Bybit 6 months to a year ago was notorious for scam wicks.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, now it's really settled down. It's like they're, I don't know if it is the exchange itself. Well, it has to be the exchange that's overcoming them, or players on the exchange, but it's really controlling them so much better, other than what happened last night, right? But they're not as common occurrence as they used to be. Where other exchanges I've found just trade against you, and they will actually do that. But the tools that Kevin's got, folks, I'm telling you, it's just the advancements. CJ on here, you've been in the beginning since us as well, and wow, what a platform we have. Kevin is a dedicated man for you guys to win. That's all I can say. And if you follow along, you can do extremely well. I don't want to say what I've done, but Kevin knows that, in a handful of, since about the 11th of January, I've, when we got back from the typhoon, I've pretty well doubled my account every 11, 12 days. And the key is not dumping it in and keeping it in. Kevin sees that. At the end of the week, I take all of my profits out and I start back with the original balance, and away I go again. It's easy to make more money as your account grows. I'm trying to do it to show you guys that you can do it too with smaller amounts.
It's nutty. Oh, and what we're gonna do, guys, and this is why I'm very interested. I want to start getting on with a lot of our trading leaders, the traders who are in here just crushing it. And I want to put out another course, because right now we have the Academy, right? And the Academy goes through cookie cutter stuff, right? Hey, if this happens, do this. If that happens, do this. But trading is also nuanced, right? So what I'm looking to do is do not another Academy. I'm going to call it something else. And I'm going to start recording videos from scratch, manual trading and using Carbon, beyond the bot, like to the oomph degree. But like from, hey, what is even, how does this stuff even work? How do exchanges work? Like basic stuff all the way up to, and taking nuggets from people like Malcolm that is just crushing it, right? So I'm going to be doing that, and there's going to be a lot of videos in it, a lot of training. We're going to be talking about staking opportunity. It's just going to keep going, because I'm getting restless. I have a lot of fun talking with the members, hanging out with Malcolm, getting on calls and stuff like that, and working with the devs. But I'm getting restless to shoot training videos. So we're going to do a whole nother section that's, just like beyond the Academy, maybe we'll call it. Maybe I'll let you guys know. What should we call it? What should we call it? What should we call going to the next level with your education in here, right? Let me know. Give me some ideas. And it's going to be free for everyone who's in the platform. You guys will just get it. It'll be a whole nother training area. Might even pepper in next level. I like it. Might even pepper in some indicators that I just give you guys, right? That helped me out. So, yeah.
I'd just like to add for all of you, for Kevin, our conversation last night, I messaged you. One part of the conversation we had, I've seen many guys that are good traders and or owners of platforms, and they tend to get a Caesar complex, like it's just their way and no one else. And Kevin is so open, and some of the suggestions, like last night, it was so obvious with, I guess it's got to be like a Mexican coin. I'm just joking. IOTX, however you say that. But I saw straight away those alerts. He had really looked into some of the stuff I shared with him. And great going, Kevin. I saw you implemented that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, really. That is the example of a smart person, to be open to other things that are out there, and then add them to what you already have. Don't subtract and take stuff away. Don't change your course. Just add, and that's what he's doing. Fantastic. Thanks, man.
Oh, no, I appreciate it. It's all about getting better. I think we should all wake up every day and go, hey, if we were trying to do better, if we were trying to make something a better product or a better service or a better community, or what would we do, right? If we were looking at a competitor, you know what I mean? And the game here is all about just getting people results in their trading. Hey, Chad, I see your question. I'm getting started. I noticed in the Academy videos, money management settings, trigger at negative is set to 60, but the default when I log in is 50. So it's 50. I know exactly what you're talking about. We're targeting these. If I go to configure, and again, this right here. So these advanced money management, let me go pop in here. This would be trigger at negative 50. I know in some of the videos I show negative 60, but you want it to be negative 50, and you can't do negative 60 anymore because on some shorts, now there's an adjustment on Bybit where they adjusted like liquidation prices were at negative 50%. And we used to want to go negative 60, but we can't, right? So we can't go negative 60. Or can we? Or can we? Okay, and this is going to be a little bit advanced. The addition of this right here, of the auto margin, right? Adding an auto margin can take you to negative 60 and then repurchase back in. So I am running some tests on that. We might be able to do that because I would rather repurchase in a trade when it was negative 100, right? If it was right that second before liquidation, that's when I want to get right back in. Not at negative 50. That's not ideal, right? And with the auto replenishment, we might be able to do it. So I'll keep you posted on that. But for now, answer your question, negative 50. Also, the total trades are reaching stage 4 in the Academy video set to 1. The default when I log in is 2. I have mine set at 1. You can go ahead and set yours at 2. Or I have mine set at 2, I should say. During a bull market a bear market, when we're taking a lot of longs, you can let more through. When we're in a market where we're taking a lot of shorts, when we're going up on that retrace, then you might want to set it at 1 and then monitor. Okay. So I would recommend adjusting this, and I might even change the default settings back actually, because now it looks like we're going into a bull market. Don't think we're going to fly straight up. I think there's going to be a nice little correction coming down. Bitcoin can't pump 18% in a few days without coming back down. All right, so keep an eye on that. But I would be looking at right now backing this off. When you go to configure, I would be looking at, hey, let's go ahead and get in. And these aren't defaults because it's just I do all kinds of crazy stuff on this account. So don't snapshot this and do these settings. This is me doing silly stuff as I'm testing things, right? So I would have max number of trades 3 and max number of trades past stage 4. Keep that at 2. I might even pop this down to a 2 right now for the next couple of days, for the next like week or so, because right now the market conditions are such that we're at the bottom, right? We're at the bottom of. Let's go take a look. If you look at Bitcoin and what it's done, let's go to the 4-hour chart. It's my favorite chart. We're at the bottom of a bear market, right? We were in a bear market all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. And what ended up happening? We broke some key areas, and now it looks like we're going bullish. But don't pop the champagne quite yet, because while this is really strong to get us out, okay, and head back up, the market conditions don't exist like they did in the last one in July. What was happening back here? Back here, there were stimulus packages going through, right? Trillions of dollars getting ejected into the economy, unemployment, right? People that they were saying, hey, we'll pay you to stay home, okay? So those were different times, and inflation was at 0 with no threat of changing that. Now we have a bear market coming on down as that money starts drying up in the economy, and boom, we have a nice relief rally. This is either a turn and we're heading up, or it's a relief rally. But it's not like you're going to head from here to straight line up. Markets don't move straight up, and if they do, they get punished by moving right down. So what I'm looking at, okay, just looking even at some of the most basic of indicators, RSIs, you're in some of these overbought territory just because of this rally went up so fast. I think we could settle down right about here and range. If we settle in this area, right? And range in this area from here to here, all right? This little box right here, we come down to the bottom and then we range in this area for another couple of, like even if we do it for a week, then that's given the markets time to adjust to this price level. And yes, we can springboard back up. But just popping all the way up like this and coming right back and popping up like this and having this much consolidation for 14 hours and then flying up, that's not enough. You need to see this come on down. And for that to happen, you need some time. And then we can pop back up again. Okay. So what I'm saying is right now we're in a very strange time. We're in a very strange time here. We're in a very strange time here. My favorite places to trade actually are right here when it comes to leverage trading because it's very predictable, right? Right now, we'll see what happens. I think with Super Bowl Sunday coming up and the billions and billions of dollars in ads coming out for Super Bowl Sunday, big institutions don't want crypto to fail. They don't want crypto to be dropping down to probably where a lot of us thought it was going, popping down to these 30K areas, right? Hitting down here and then going up for a rally. They don't want that to happen when they're about to pump billions of dollars into Super Bowl ads, okay? That's a real thing. There was actually a big hack, a $350 million hack of DeFi, decentralized finance. And then the big companies in crypto stepped in and paid that down. So, oh, you got hacked, you lost that money, here it is back to maintain the integrity of DeFi. So there's a lot of forces that are really at work here to not make it fly up, right? Not pump it to the moon, but make it something that is legitimate. So it'll be here for a very long time. The problem is, don't get too much hopium to go straight up from here, right? I think we're going to hit in this range from about right here to right here, and we'll range around, and which would be phenomenal if we could do that for the next couple of weeks and then start going up, right? So, yeah. Do you think we can still get out of 4 shorts? Yeah. And hit the desk, Rob. I'm going to be doing some calls with members. What'll happen is hit the desk and they'll take a look. And if it looks like, it might be an issue, then they'll schedule a one-on-one call with me. So there's that. We'll take a look. You guys will find I do that quite a bit. I can only do that. So, as the community gets bigger, it's obviously harder and harder. So, but yeah, but there's a lot happening in the crypto space right now, guys. And we just broke out of a nice range. So we should be heading back up, but there's also a lot of forces at play. This could be a dead cat bounce. We could pop on back down here. This could be just, hey, we're going to come back down to a nice resistant support level of 40K, which would be phenomenal for Bitcoin if we did that, right? If we came down here and then ranged around for a couple days and then went up. Also, if you look at, okay, the DXY, okay, the dollar index, this is the dollar and the value of the dollar. Why am I showing the value of the dollar? Who cares, right? Well, when the dollar goes down in value, Bitcoin goes up in value. They have not a direct correlation, like you can't trade it. Like, oh, look, dollar went down. Right now, Bitcoin's going right with it. Not like that. But the dollar and the value of the dollar is pretty important when it comes to Bitcoin. And as the dollar goes up, you see Bitcoin coming down. Dollar crashes down. What do we see? We see a nice relief rally. And it looks like we're positioned to go ahead and head back up. Like this is ranging. We bounced off this range. We might be coming back up here or even in this area. And in that move, that'll bring down the price of crypto. Okay. So a lot of forces at play. It's not just what you see, right? People, and this is why patience is a virtue, and also looking outside of your space, no matter what you're doing, is always a virtue, right? You don't want to always look in crypto to see what's happening in crypto. If you do that, you're looking at this, you got blinders on. You don't see anything else that's happening. We got, federal government meetings this week on Thursday at 5 a.m. I think that's Eastern time, 5 a.m. They're going to be talking about interest rates and inflation data and jobs report, right? So there's a lot of different things and dates and stuff like that you can watch out for. Some of you don't want to get into those weeds, and you don't really need to because you got me doing it, right, with you. But it's just, when I look at this stuff, this is what I look at, okay? 4%. Can you talk about the possibility of setting beyond the bot if you want to be very aggressive? If you're doing very aggressive settings and beyond the bot, which I don't recommend. If you watch like this video, okay, I'm always like, hey, let me open this up and go into the academy. And some of you guys jumped forward, and I almost removed the video out of Beyond the Bot, and I'll tell you why. So I show you like, hey, your first trade in Beyond the Bot, and the settings that I have you use in here are the same settings that we use in all the other accounts. And then I got, Kevin's trade settings, and I showed you some, what I do on one of my Beyond the Bot manual accounts. Keep in mind, I have like 20 Bybit accounts, right? And I showed you what I do here. Okay. And I said, hey, don't do this if you're new. Get some of the other trades under your belt first. And I'm showing you like 6% and that kind of stuff. That's getting in one trade when I'm 100% sure it's going to do what I think it's going to do. I'm probably going to remove this video because here's what people do. They're like, oh, I'm going to get in 6% in 15 trades, as many trades as I can pump in there. No, stop it. Don't do that. Right. So I'm probably going to like delete this video out of here actually. Because, we're all adults, right? We can watch the video and go, okay, Kevin's saying, he's doing a higher percentage, but he's getting in one trade and it's these conditions. But Ross says, leave it. I've not seen it yet. Now it's going away, Ross. It's out of here, buddy. It's gone. Save it for your advanced group. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Yeah, I might want to get rid of this, right? Just because I don't want, I tell people like, hey, get in one trade and do this, do that. And then they go, but what's another one? Another one is liquidation, man. That's another one. Stop it. So when you're stuck in long, do you take a short and be on the bot? I don't even get, when I'm stuck in longs, I don't even care. I mean, there's an opportunity cost to it, right? But I usually do other money management where I repurchase it and stuff like that. But my liquidations or prices are so low, and I get in at such a small amount of my account, I can get more trades. Do you have a lot of capital? If you have a lot of capital, would it matter? Yes, the more capital you have, the better. And actually keeping some money on the side outside of your trading accounts is a very, very wise thing to do, right? It's a very wise thing to do because you can always move capital. If you keep like an extra 30% of what your balance is sitting in your spot wallet, it will serve you well, okay? And that should be something that I really recommend, and I do recommend. For me, my derivatives account, if I have $40,000 in a derivatives account, then I probably got 20 sitting in a spot account, just chilling, USDT, just hanging out. And if something crazy happens, I can move that money in and fix a trade, lickety split. So it is very wise. And maybe I need to write that down and put that in videos. I'm actually, before I start shooting videos for the next level, what I'm going to do is get on with my boy Twan. I haven't talked to you forever, man. I want to get with Craig and see what he's got going on. Any of the traders that are in here kind of doing things that are conventional and unconventional that are winning. I want to